Hey there, and welcome back into the Direct Selling Accelerator podcast. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be talking about branding yourself on social media. The big question, how do I brand myself? This is something we get asked really frequently. People wanting to know, how do I display myself on social media? How do I name my business? What sort of profile picture do I use, etc.? How do I know how to represent myself effectively to get growth, to get customers, etc.? So we're going to dive in today. I'm going to give you 3 steps, 3 tips, things for you to consider as you go forward and you brand yourself. So let's dive on in and get into it. Now, as we go into the content of today's podcast, I want to start off by laying the foundations a little bit. I want to start off by saying that absolutely no one, and I mean no one, not even me, can tell you exactly how to brand yourself. Why? Because you are unique. You are the thing that sets your business apart. We're going to talk a little bit about this as we go through today. But the key here is lots of us have forgotten how to be ourselves. Lots of us are spending our time on social media trying to be other people, trying to mimic others that seem to have cracked the social media code. They've worked it out. They're getting great growth. And we think we have to be more like them and less like ourselves. The trick here is there is no one size fits all rule. The trick is working out your ideal formula, your way of connecting with your perfect customer. And I'm going to help you a little bit with that today. But you're going to have to figure out your secret sauce. So let's have a little bit of a look at what that looks like. Now, as we go into the nitty-gritty of this, I want you to think a little bit about those people around you that you do admire, those that possibly are leaders, those that are doing great things on social media that you think, hey, you know what, if I could follow in their footsteps, I would. And I want you to consider something for a moment. What makes them special? Why are they succeeding on social media? Now, the answer, and think about if you have, let's say you go to a company conference and one of the leaders stands up there on the stage and they tell you all about how they got to where they are. They might train you on something. They give you some valuable information. You'll notice something very interesting. And here is the thing. Most of them, in fact, I think all of them will not stand up there and tell you that they got where they are because of the product or because of the company. They are highly likely to sing the praises of the company and the products. It's probably got a big part to play in their business. Of course it does. But the thing you'll notice them all talk about is how they build relationships, because that is the key to the direct selling industry. Anyone in a party plan or network marketing business needs to first and foremost focus on building the relationships. You've got to keep in mind that what sets your business apart is not the products and it's not the business. It's absolutely the thing that you use to grow your business. It's where your income comes from. But it isn't the thing that makes you unique. Think about it. No matter what direct selling company you're with, people can buy your products from others. There are loads of places they can go to get it, whether it's another consultant. In some cases, they can buy the products online directly through the website. So why do they come to you? They come to you because they've connected to you. They've built some form of relationship with you. Perhaps it's even just through direct referral. Maybe they've only just met you. The point is that your business is going to grow based on your skills that you build in relationships. So this comes back to your personal brand. How are you going to lay that out? So I want you to think very carefully about 3 key things here that are really going to help you with this process. Now, I also have an exciting little downloadable worksheet that you can use to help you with this process. So I'm going to offer this to you for free in the show notes with this podcast. If you want to download that little worksheet and fill that in, this is going to help you work out and identify your personal brand. I'm not going to go into all the elements right now. I want to specifically focus on 3 of them. The first of those is you need to be clear about what it is that you're leading with. Are you leading with, number 1, the product? Is the product what you're passionate about? Is that what you're leading in with? Are you leading in with the business? For some of you, it's not so much about the products, it's about the business opportunity. Is that what you're passionate about? Or are you leading in with something completely separate and then the business or the products fit beautifully alongside of that? Perhaps you're a yoga instructor. Maybe you're a dietitian or a nutritionist. Perhaps you're a personal trainer. It could be anything. But what is it that you're leading in with? Are you coming in with the product, the business opportunity, or something completely separate? Now, this, of course, is going to have a huge amount to do with your brand. So as you go ahead and brand yourself, you want to place a bit of focus on which of those three things it is. Is it something different? Is it the business opportunity and the lifestyle that creates, or whatever it is that matters to you in that space? Or is it the amazing products? The next thing, number 2, that you want to consider as you go forward with this is, what are you passionate about? Now, this might sound like it's got nothing to do with your business at all, but it has everything to do with your business. Passion is infectious. It will also help you to come forward and let a little bit of your guard down, share a bit of your heart and soul. Remember, you connect with people based on their beliefs, their passions, their energy, the things that get them excited, not so much on the facts. Yet a lot of us focus on the detail. We focus on the detail about the product or the detail about the business. Have you ever noticed that when you put a post out there about what goes on behind the scenes, maybe something happening in your family or your personal life? Be careful not to overshare here. But have you ever noticed that when you share something a little bit more personal, it gets so much more interaction on social media? There's a reason for that. It's because you're helping people to connect with you. Keep in mind that people buy from people that they like, know, and trust. It's very difficult for them to know and trust you if you're not being you. So the more you can share in a professional way, the more you can be yourself, and your passions is a fantastic way to share that across, the easier it's going to be for you to make those all-important connections and build those relationships. You'll also find some common ground. You'll notice as you start to share some things that you're passionate about, others will reach out, and you'll notice that there are some things that you've got in common. It will help you learn about your ideal customer, and it will absolutely help you connect with them. So maybe on a bit of paper, or if you download our little worksheet, jot some of these things down. What are some things I'm passionate about? Am I passionate about healthy eating? Am I passionate about work-life balance? Am I passionate about travel? Am I passionate about business? That's a passion. I'm passionate about business. I love being a woman in business and being a family person in business. I think that is a great thing to be passionate about, particularly in the direct selling industry, because you guys are all about work-life balance. What else are you passionate about? Are you passionate about community, friendship? What matters to you? So write some of those things down and then consider to yourself, are you going to be the forerunner of this business? Do you want to have your face representing who you are and what you do? It's a really key question here, because a lot of people say, oh, I don't want my face on my Facebook page. I don't want to be a part of my brand. Now, that's okay so long as you've worked out another way to connect with people. For example, if yoga is your thing, make sure that you are considering your target customer, what you have to offer, and how you can provide value in the yoga space if you're not going to let people know who you are, if you're not going to connect with them on a personal level. It's very okay to make it about the extra thing, the other thing. Just be really clear about what that brand is going to be. You also want to be a bit consistent with your branding as well. So remember that you don't want to bring in too much that's completely irrelevant. I had someone ask me a few years ago, can I share things like a post of there was a video of a cute koala crossing the road the other day, and I saw it come up on Facebook. Is that the sort of thing I can share on my business page? My answer to that was, does it have anything to do with your business? And she said, well, no, not really, but I thought since I liked it, other people would like it. And the way I responded to that was, if you can find some kind of a connection to your business, whether there is a funny connection, perhaps the koala was crossing the road out the front of your office space or your home. Maybe you can think of some pun you can throw out there that relates it back to your business, then go for it. But if it is completely irrelevant, you're just posting it because you like it and you think other people will like it too, that may not be a good enough reason to share it on social media. So you also want to stop and think about, Is it relevant? Is it going to help me achieve my objective? And does it connect with my ideal customer? So let's come back to personal brand for a little sec, because there's one last tip I want to leave you with, one last thing I want you to ponder as you go forward and think about that personal brand of yours. And that is, what value can you provide that is not selling? Now, what value can you provide that's not selling? This will also come into your branding. So what's the other thing? What's the extra thing? What is it that you can do? And this ties right on in there with, what are you passionate about? If you're passionate about gluten-free cooking, maybe the value you can provide is some great gluten-free recipes. It's not about selling, it's about providing value, and there's a relevance to your business perhaps. Maybe if you're in yoga, the value is going to be some yoga exercise or tips and tricks. That's not about selling the product, but it's about providing some extra value. So where can you provide some value that is absolutely not about selling? So the number one was, what are you leading with? Is it the product, the business opportunity, or something else? Number two is, what are you passionate about? And number three is, what other value can you provide that is nothing to do with selling the product or the business opportunity? Now, if you're a little bit stuck on that very last one, you're thinking, oh, I don't know. Consider to yourself, what are some of the common conversations you have with your customers? Maybe you're in Party Plan and you do demonstrations and parties. Consider, what are some of the commonly asked questions or conversations I have with people at those events? You might sell essential oils, for example, and you get asked a lot about recipes for particular ailments or fragrances. They might be asking for particular things that they want help with in their homes. So maybe that will give you a little bit of a guidance towards, hey, you know what? I could provide some oil recipes. Maybe people are asking about how to take care of their oils or how to use them, what to do, what not to do, the difference between a heat diffuser and a non-heat diffuser. I'm not using technical words here, by the way. You can't half tell. You know what I mean if you're in the essential oil industry. Perhaps you are with a company that sells beauty products and you often get asked about, what products should I use for various skin types? Maybe you often have conversations with people about cool or warm tones and the colors that suit them. These are all areas where you can think of ways you can provide value that taps into those commonly asked questions and those problems and needs and also values of your ideal customer without it coming back to constantly selling. So have a little bit of a think about, where else can you provide some value? Where do you already provide value, and how can you enhance and elaborate on that? I hope this has given you a little bit of help today. There are absolutely loads of other things that come into this, I know. I wanted to just tap into the first three key areas and really get you thinking first and foremost about who you are. I just want to finish off this podcast by reminding you of how special you are and how unique you are. You do not need to be anybody else. You are absolutely perfect just the way you are. The problem with so many social media pages is that people are trying to be somebody they're not. They think that they're not enough to put themselves out there on social media. You've built your business or you've started your business because you've got some key passions. You are you, and your perfect customers are out there ready and waiting for you to be yourself so they can get up there and connect with you. So I would love to encourage you to be a little bit more you on social media. There are absolutely boundaries. I'm not suggesting you use your business page as a personal profile, but I am suggesting that you put your own personal stamp on your brand. Help people connect with you. Just remember, those top leaders out there, there's something that every single one of them do. They know exactly who it is that they're out here to please. They don't try to please people outside of that group, and they are unashamedly themselves. So I implore you to do exactly the same thing. We would love to walk this journey with you. If you want to reach out to us, you want to know what else you can do with us and how else we might be able to help you, we've got a bunch of online courses. And we've also got a membership group where we walk this journey alongside of our members every single day. And we would love to have you join that family if you want some more help in this space. But for right now, I'm going to pop in the show notes a little worksheet for you to download to help you identify what your personal brand might look like. I hope this has been a little help for you today. I look forward to seeing you all again next week on the podcast. But for right now, Go out and have some fun, look after yourself, and God bless. We'll speak to you next week.